Good morning, friends. Welcome to my channel, Joy to the World. I am Melissa Joy. So we're here to have a little chit chat. You know, if you're new here, anyways, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. And if you've been here before, you know I often come out to watch the sunrise, to fill my soul with true light, true life, and true color. That's where the food that I need comes from. It doesn't come from a grocery store. I could put that in and still be almost dead, y'all. If you've been around for a minute, you know I've been through a series of deaths, and it has been eye-opening and challenging. And I can't say that I give you specific lessons or truths that come forward from that, but I simply share my life and what's going on now, being someone who has come through to the other side. You know, our modern era, our modern culture really celebrates people who do things the hard way, and the bad boss bitch and whatever, and rise from the ashes and show people how you can or can't treat me or whatever else. And so it's called the perpetuation of the phoenix. Like a phoenix, it has to eat its own ashes in order to be born again, right? So we have to keep creating destruction, and that's the opposite of beauty. Beauty is the labor, it is the balance, and more than the things moving this way, it's trusting that you're that center point. That as stuff moves about, that's like what tempering chocolate. Temperance is another name for balance. When you temper it, you create a molecular change so that it can be in its highest, most protective form, but not locked down, locked up. No, we're talking the shine. You ever seen tempered chocolate? It shines. You want to know what's so amazing about it? Maybe that's what they're doing here. I really seek to live the enjoyment of life every day, so that when I do bring these little love nuggets, maybe it is like that. So if you have other chocolate and you put one little nugget, one little piece of tempered chocolate in it, it tempers the whole thing. You don't have to have developed the skill and the eye and have the proper cooling stone to move it about on and to do everything just right and have the right system and the right scenario. No, you just put a little niblet, a little nugget of some tempered chocolate down in there, and it transforms the whole batch. And I think that's kind of what happened to our world, is we lost our connection to that knowingness, not learned knowledge and earned knowledge, and this sequential, hard edge, measured off, traditional black and white knowledge. No. The rules, the lines, the longitude, the latitude, the zodiac signs, all of that. No, it goes beyond. It gets into this organic and this dynamic energy that involves the self, right? So with all that being said, when the sun was rising this morning, it was only like a little sliver. So there's a couple of messages in here. Stick around and see which one is for you. All right. Are you happy to be here? Good. I'm happy you're here. So first of all, when the sun's trying to come up, there was only like this little Pac-Man wedge, like those little dots and things. So the opportunity coming your way, the little preview you get of it might not be enticing enough to cause you to step in, because you're not like opening the whole field of vision to know that there's more to come, that this is nature, that nature has not left you out, cut you off. That is what we'll call an illusion, because it's simply staying in this microscopic view where nowadays when you're in stress, your eyes tunnel down to these pinholes, that you're not taking in the full view around you. And that's actually a state of stress. So maybe that's why they've been introducing so much returning to the breath here. So why don't we do one right now? Let's just breathe in through our nose, and we're gonna sigh out of our mouth. Okay, ready? Let's do one more. That was juicy. Ready? And when we do that, the diaphragm lifts and lowers. It's like a massage for all your cells. A massage and a message, my friend. But anyways, when it started to come back up, just past that little bit of a cloud, that old Neptunian energy swooping out, trying to sit there and say, ooh, don't listen to Jupiter. You won't make it. You won't prosper. There's not enough money in this. People don't love you. You know, you still have problems. Look at you. You've messed everything up. All you've been is a big fat failure. Oh, and fat. Let's talk about that. Look at your body. Look at your face. Look, hello. That's that cloud that's like hovering around, that you're only looking out through a little slit. Pardon me, ant. Lots of children eat their snacks at this beach. So look into that little slit and you're like, there's no way. But what you don't know is life is looking back at you and it's like, I see you peeping through your lattice. You gorgeous, you beautiful, you amazing, you shine. Bring your energy, bring your fun, bring your life, bring your color, right? So, friend, this is life's message to you. Give yourself that opportunity. Give yourself that opportunity to step back for a moment. That's what reflection is. That's what we can call it, meditation, prayer, getting out and doing things that you love, that you truly enjoy. It gets you out of that stagnation of time and space, that moment of being locked in and hemmed in. And it gives you, especially if you get out in nature. You want to make your problems shrink or disappear, get out in nature for a few minutes, because then all of a sudden the elements can do everything for you, and your size and scope compared to the size and scope really transform and change things, okay? So anyways, as it starts to get slightly above there, past that old Neptunian fog mug, because we all are the whole zodiac, that's that Pisces energy, trying to keep you on the lockdown, on the low down, on the beneath, on the lower than, on the low to bar. That's why it's saying all that stuff around your mind. That is not your mind talking to you. After a while, that program loop will get on there and play like a record, like used to. It got to where there weren't like official DJs running the radio stations. It was pre-programmed track that there they are just to press, and the whole thing just goes. All right. So it's like a track that gets stuck in there, and we're trying to get that track out of us and get on our track, our trajectory. So as it started to peep up above there, by that time it was juicy orange and it's fat and it's full and it's blooming, and this tailwind came and it kind of bent the sun. Now what's wild is they said, tell them, Joy, tell them not to let themselves get disturbed about that, because you might be feeling pushed out, moved on from a relationship, a job, or whatever else, and it's not meant to scare you. It's not meant to push you beyond your truth. It's to push you beyond your resistance. And that's the only reason it's pushing, is there's a point of being lodged, and it's just trying to get you to, hey, you, to wake up out of that catatonia, okay? So, anyways, I said, don't be afraid of that. Trust it. In the moment that thought flowed past and around, it leveled out and leveled up. Because it's only when you plant your feet and you refuse, that's that old, your anus. We just keep the old pronunciation here because that's what it is. When your anus gets in the way of your juicy, delicious life, don't you want something to be like, hey, wake up, hey, wake up. What are you resisting? What are you fighting anyway? Some of that really comes from having been raised. We landed in this world totally incapable. That's when we fell and bumped our head and we're like, what? I did not sign up for this. That's why we be crying. We're babies. You got to decide when you want to feed me and what you're going to feed me, and whether you hold me or love me, and you decide what you think my cries mean. That's why there's a lot of conditioning that we don't even cognize and we don't recognize, right? We're cognizing, but we're not recognizing it. So that's why they're trying to get off of being that stuck, so that we can start to move forward and flow with what? Our preferences, what we desire. And when we live from that truth, all that old kind of disseminates and falls away. And that's where the magic begins to happen, because then you start befriending yourself, loving yourself, being kind, soft, and gentle with yourself, as opposed to, I'm going to make you do this, I'm going to push you to do that. We aren't doing that. Can't anybody make us do that? That's a hard and edgy, right? Now, what's interesting is they wanted me to get an affirmation card this morning, and I found this one. Not like I went looking. This is what I found, okay? What they brought to me. I am forgiving, and my compassion replaces anger with love. So we'll break that down for just a minute, because anger can come in many forms. Low-level anger is frustration. That's when you don't want to be mad and have all these filthy words running through, so it just traps in your energy, and it creates like this friction and the static that creates inflammation, that can distort information and slow down your progress, okay? Your flow, an inhibitor, okay? So here it's circling around forgiving and my compassion. Now that's interesting. That's why when it came, they said, get one of those affirmation cards. And they were shuffled long ago and stashed away in this box, and they said, you're gonna take one at a time, and you're always gonna just take off the top. I'm like, okay. Because the sunrise had already been talking about forgiveness. And I was like, It was like, they need to know that forgiveness, it's always like, why punish somebody else? Punish yourself for what somebody else has done to you. It's bigger than that. It's like Somebody go do some refill yoga ritual for the full moon in Aquarius. Refill is great. Andrew and Clelia, not like I know them personally, but they have great personalities. But anyways, it's almost like somebody taking a peg and tacking it down, and you're tethered there. So now when you go about and you do things or whatever, you have the stress, strife, and struggle of being attached to that place and time. And that's why it can keep replaying and impacting your flesh, your body, your visceral experience, your senses. So when you're forgiving it, that's how we create a release into what is coming towards us or our future. So I see it as giving for the purpose of your future, your destiny, your life, your juicy dreams that are coming towards you. It's a gift to yourself. So more than just a set of the mind that we do, imagine you pulling that tent peg out and you freeing yourself up to move about. That's the freedom why so many people are seeking freedom. We didn't realize that there can be a physical mark, a physical aspect to it. That's why it can keep triggering in the body. So if you're one of those people, they just want me to let you know that. So when you do it, that frustration dissipates. Because you start going about and you're thinking, oh, I like that. I want to go enjoy that. And you start to go and where you'd normally stop yourself because you've been trained by that tent peg holding you down, that something in you moves a little bit further and you're like, whoa, wait. And you kind of jostle and jar like that pushing on the sun, right? You're like, wait, I didn't get stopped right there. And you're like, ooh, I'm scared. Should I go for it? Is that a trick? Is something bad gonna happen to me? Can you see what I'm saying? Or like, is this not gonna work out? Whatever it is that you've let it go from your body. No one taught me about how to let it go from your body, because the mind, that was easy. Instant forgiver. It was like, I'm not gonna hold that. But then my body has been pinned in, pegged down in a prison, right, for so long behind invisible bars I couldn't see. And my body wants to be free. My spirit and soul wants to move around Sagittarius rising, okay, people? And it's like every part of me has wings, not just Mercury. Whereas the feet, it's like my soul wants to enjoy every drop of this juicy, delicious life we have here. That's actually the purpose for every one of us, is to enjoy our life. We come from happiness. That's what we are. That's what spirituality, divine spirit is. Cellular DNA that's happiness, okay? We don't make our cells turn over. We didn't make our cells grow. We don't make our heart beat. We don't make our lungs breathe. There's so much going on here that we can enjoy the experience and be in the creatorship of, ooh, how does it feel when I do this exercise? Ooh, how do I feel when I eat this food? How do I feel when I'm around that person? It's like, I feel a little, listen to yourself. Okay? They talk about psychic and all these other things. That sixth sense that we have is our common sense, common self sense, that's saying that's for me, that's not for me. I enjoy this, I don't enjoy this. I like this right now and at this time, but I don't like it at that time. I'm someone who enjoys working for myself and being in my own flow. If I want to be around people, I do it when I'm socializing. You get what I'm saying? Isn't that beautiful? That's that freedom of the soul. And somebody's saying hashtag what? I'm saying hashtag we don't fuck that. This week's readings, I just finished recording them all, but this week's readings that are coming in are hashtag fuck that. Because man, it's overturning that energy of other things having the power over us, controlling us, limiting us, like feeding off of the energy of our beauty and our divine life, these fresh moments that haven't even been experienced yet. Like keeping up in their storehouse, squatting on that, hoarding that. This has been my favorite just far. Phoenix Flies, hi there, friend, if you're showing up. We love you at this channel. We celebrate everybody at this channel. That's why I love for you to drop comments and compliments down below to me, yourself, whomever. It is my joy, my delight to see you feeling the wind moving through your soul, lifting you up, guiding and directing you to your dreams and desires. Not having to plant your feet, because this is yourself and your soul talking, all right? When I show up here, I'm just someone who begins to stir the energy, telling you to, hey, go on your quest, ask yourself these questions. Or have you ever thought about this? Did you think about what came before meditation? Did you think about the feelings or how you physically let go of that in your body? So that's all that visualization was. Somebody's going to be out in their mind, and that you could even just put pegs or hammer things down in your yard and just go start pulling them up. Pull it out. Like, get that in your mind frame of like a certain injury or wound that you had, a conflict with a person that somehow keeps playing around in your mind, that has caused you to feel limited, you know? Like my dad, all my growing up years used to go, shut up, nobody wants to hear what you have to say. But part of my, well, almost my whole gift and calling is to speak and to share love and life and joy and delight, right? So I'd already worked through the whole mental headspace of that, but my body is still tethered down. And that's what they're saying for the channel. Hey, Joy, go and find that. And I was like, find that? I don't even think about that. They're like, but your body does. It's still holding you physically in that old space and in that old time. And I was like, what? Okay. So you could just put these pegs and things around in the yard and just go hammer them in. You could even do one at a time and think about that thing and then pull it out and say, I freed myself from that. I am in the now. And I'm telling you, people, it is transformative how it happens. The body is a part that we have neglected. We bully it, we push it around, we tell it what it can and can't eat, you know what I mean? And we're like, oh, you're getting fat because of this, or, you know, this makes me tired because of that, or, you know, all the common just flub-a-dub, this moving around the headspace of this world, selling books, making money, right? Getting your truth, getting yourself, enjoy your life, and be fresh in every moment. Because some days it's like, go get you some donut holes. Other times it's like, I want a potato. Now that sounds funny, but potatoes could make my joints ache and hurt. It can mimic rheumatoid arthritis for some people. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm divine and I'm here, then there's a way through that. Not like I'm going to sit and eat 586 potatoes or anything, but it's like, I don't need anything hampering my joy. If my soul says I want a potato, I'm like, then the magic is going to be there. So I'm untethering those old experiences. It's not always just from particular people. It can be a lot of it from yourself, of feeling like, well, God, I blew that. I sure screwed that. I was an idiot here. Not like you're thinking those words, you're feeling things that feel like that. Okay. So on the back from Kerwin Rowe, or is that Ray? My eyes have been so blurry, y'all, since this kidney thing. Pray for me. Kerwin Ray. The quality of your life comes down to the thoughts that you think on a regular basis. Now, that's that thing we know here, that we're not thinking beings, we're intelligent beings, we're divine beings, we have our senses, and that's what we're here to do. These thoughts come as suggestions, hoping that it sounds enough like you that it'll believe it's you, so that you can keep that record spinning, keep that karma going. There's so many spindles on the wheel of karma. There's that inner one like that dialogue or whatever, where the body keeps playing out these references that you didn't know how to get out of. How do we straddle the worlds to come out of it? Okay. And that's why we focus on getting into our joy, getting into our delights, because those things will override it on its own. We're having such a good time, we don't realize we start spiraling up, and we aren't trapped on that karmic record anymore. That's why we're the whole zodiac, but we're also more than the whole zodiac. We are the solar system. The sun is the center of it all. And that's why I'm asking you to get into your center, friend. I am asking you and inviting you to be full of yourself, because if you're not full of you, what are you full of? Shizdiz, other people's problems. Because when their stuff comes up in you and there's room for it, because you're not full of yourself, because somebody told you the wrong definition for that. Because see, selfless, we refer to that as someone who gives and gives and gives, but when you've been that person, you often connect with abusers, right? So that's still way out of balance, because that's lessons and earnings in order to get a life of ease. No. Get into the center of yourself by enjoying your life, by surrounding yourself with love, by doing the things that bring you health and life and joy and encouragement and surprise and all that. And that other stuff will have to start distancing away, because it's not yours. Then you're full of yourself. And when you're full of yourself, you're fresh, pure, clean, flowing water of truth, and it flows out. Because it's pure, what's beautiful, because it's true to who you are, it is pure, and it comes flowing out into this world, and other people see it without you even having to say a thing, and they don't know they're seeing it. Their soul does it. It's like, oh, that's making me thirsty. It's like, oh, I want that too. And so to their soul and their self, that guidance starts popping on, going, oh, what do you love? Well, they're roller skating and looking like they're having fun. Let me try that and see if that's for me. You see what I'm saying? It's that power of the witness. is so much more dynamic than us just sitting down and talking to each other and telling each other all of our business, telling each other all of our problems, because you know what that sows in your gardens? Weed seeds. You know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't mean don't do any of that. Let it have a little space where you vent and you breathe it out, knowing you're clearing it from yourself. You're not sending it anywhere. It's not in your mindset that this is all it is. This is happening to you. This is all it'll ever be. That's why we get to the solar system where you're like, oh, look at those planets over there. Look at that zodiac over there. And you start to recognize which one is singing your song, or where the French horns are tuning in and the violin's going to come in here. And you got the bass drum kicking in over there. You see what I mean? You are dynamic, friend. You are so much more than just a sun sign. You are so much more than just a body walking around on this earth. You are sheer delight and massive opportunities for joy, which splashes color all over our world. And it starts to wake it up where people are like, wow, I didn't know life could be so wonderful. True. Hey, subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you here. Also, tap that like button. Help us rise to the top. It's your little vote of confidence for me and for everybody else, and these messages to continue coming. Also, you can leave your comments or compliments down below. I love to hear from you. Hey, support this channel. I love you. Bye.